Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Rome, the historical role-playing game. Experience the glory and decadence of Rome like never before. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment as well. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Tonight, I wanted to talk about why role players in tabletop role playing games rarely, no, I would say, are never truly lost. Are never truly lost. What do I mean by this? In tabletop role playing games, it is quite common to venture into various sites that could be maze like a labyrinth. Because just like in real life, if you go into the wilderness or even into an unknown building, you won't exactly know your way through the forest, through the jungle, through the cave, through the apartment complex, through the various offices. No matter where you are, unless you are familiar with that place, it's a disorienting experience. It also depends on the size, of course, but there is that sense of discovery that you do not know what is just around the corner over there, inside that room, beyond those trees, inside of the cave. There is this tendency of including battle mats to be presented to the players when you are running a tabletop RPG session. But I would highly recommend against using those. If you want to handle a tactical battlefield situation, go ahead. If you are using miniatures, tokens, whatnot, if you feel like it's going to assist you in playing out the battle, perfect. But when it comes to the sense of discovery, I think it is important not to present everything to the players. It is perfectly logical, permissible, depending, to use tiles, draw the map as you go. I am not referring to that. There are some maps that are empty of features, keyed encounters, and they are just there so that you place them on the table, and now the players just move around the blank spaces. You could say they are pre-generated maps that are devoid of the various spoilers for the encounters. But there is such a powerful magic when it comes to the game master describing the environment and the players making their own map or their own diagram. It depends on the situation. It could be perhaps your typical modern fiction place, perhaps it's just a mall, typical shopping mall. You don't need to map out everything in exact details, just a few notions of in the second floor you have the toy shop, and you have the video game store, and you have the bookstore and the boutique for this and that, etc. In the first floor you have the department store that sells fine clothes. You have the electronics store, the music shop, etc. Right? So that requires like simple, not even a map, perhaps just like words joined together with lines, or even a list, right? First floor, this, and that. Second floor, this store, this other thing, and that. But even in dungeon situations, As long as you are role playing, it is very easy for you to figure out everything about the adventure side. If you want to know the orientation, the cardinal points, and you forgot your compass, if maybe it's a castle, right? I approach the window and look outside to see if this is the east direction because the sun, because of the position of the sun, right? It all depends on the context. If you are underground, maybe you previously made a note that the statue was located in the north section of the room. I go back to the room with the statue and calculating the position of the statue, return to the previous room to see if we are facing north when looking at the painting. If you want to know the number of exits of a room, I look around the room to see how many exits will lead us out of it, right? If you want to examine the furniture, I approach the bookshelf and take a look at the various titles of the tomes in it. Everything can be obtained through roleplay, and it is very exciting when the players first discover this way of navigating the dungeon, the keep, the oubliette, the bunker, the space station. Perhaps they were used to having this map in front of them, perfect certainty. The immersion is broken because now they have a bird's eye view of the entire place. But as the game master describes what they are encountering, how they are moving through, it is so magical. It is disorientation, a sense of displacement that is quite similar to what you would experience in real life when you are moving through unknown territories. Several times throughout my life, I've had players that were so used to having this huge map laid on the table, and they were just moving. They already know when this room is positioned here and where the doors are. But when they start to make their map little by little, first they feel very scared. They're like they want that map, so that pre-generated map. But when they discover that they can actually figure out their way through the environment, it is very exciting for them because now they are confronting the unknown and actually beating the unknown. That's why in tabletop role playing games, role players, it is very difficult for them to get lost because they obtain all of the information through role play. I look at around the room to see if there is an exit leading out of it. I look through the window. I examine the chest. I open the drawer of the desk. All of it through roleplay. So easy. Everything flows so smoothly. And you feel as if you are actually there. Now you are not asking 20 questions to the game master. Is there an exit outside of the room, leading out of the room? Um, how many exits lead out of the room? Is there like a table with drawers inside of the room? Can I open the drawer? Do you see so many adventure modules that are explained in a way that this adventure module requires 1 or more years to complete? Yes, if you ask who knows how many dozens of questions every time you enter a new section of the adventure site, then you're going to need like 2 years to complete the module. If you handle things through roleplay, 6 months, less, 3 months, depends, right? So, my highest recommendation, roleplay. There are still so many people playing tabletop role-playing games and they are missing out on all of the roleplay. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative and entertaining. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, in tabletop role playing games, you're not having a conversation about your characters. You are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you and see you later.